Hello, welcome to this lesson where we want to start looking at linear programming. I want to thank you very much for subscribing to this channel because we are here to provide the lessons that are going to help you, your friends and your children to pass mathematics ECZ at first attempt. All right? So linear programming is one of the major topics that one person should get to know. It does come in paper 1 as well as paper 2. In paper 1 you have a question that usually carries 5 marks, and in paper 2 you have a question that carries 12 marks in section B. Each and every year there is a question on linear programming. So I want to break it down for you so that you make it one of the questions that you're going to answer in that exam. All right? So linear programming, what is involved? Okay? You discover that there are times when you are given limited resources, but you have to make maximum use of them. So linear programming will help us develop mathematical models that we can use to maximize profit, especially in business. Linear programming is used under planning, even in economics, in business. You should understand that the objective of each business, most of the business, is to maximize profit and minimize cost. So given the resources that you have, when you develop these linear models or mathematical models under linear programming, they will help you determine what combination of resources you should have or you should put in or invest in order to have a maximum profit or produce something at the minimum cost. So usually we do teach from the basics so that we get to lay down the foundation that is required for us before we get to talk about other things. So under linear programming, it's important that we start looking at linear inequations. And under linear equations, better we should get acquainted with these symbols that I should believe you already have or know, but I'll take it for granted that one or two people have forgotten. So we have this symbol is what? Means less than, greater than, less or equal to, greater or equal to. Okay? So now we want to show the solutions of each of the following in equations by shading the unwanted, by shading the unwanted region. By shading the unwanted region. Okay? So that is what we want to develop. So let's get to see what we are supposed to do now. So we start with the first one. These are inequations. So we deal with the solutions. So the first one, we have 3x plus 2 less than 8. So we need to solve this. The inverse of plus is minus. So we have 3x and 6. Okay? The inverse of multiplication is division. So you have 6 divided by 3. And then finally you have x is less than what? 2. Alright? X is less than 2. Then we know now that at this point, what we want is x is less than 2. I'm sure you saw what I have done. Okay? Now, we are told that we should show the solutions of the following inequations by shading the unwanted region. By shading the unwanted region. Okay? But then, before I come to that, let me just show you how you can show this on a number line. We have our number line here. And our 0 is here. These are negatives here. I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3 going forward. So x is, let's say this is an x coordinate. These ones here, less than 2. Less than 2. So if we are on the number line, we are here on 2. Which values or coordinates are less than 2 here? it is these ones here. These ones are less than 2. Okay? So this is how we show the solutions. Going to all the negative numbers, they do satisfy what? Our condition or our inequality. And on this circle here, we are not supposed to shade it because 2 is not part of the solution. 2 is not part of the solution. We're just looking at values that are less than 2. All right? That's what we're supposed to know. So we look at the second one. Now, I mean, on the first one, because I want to look at inequalities by shading the unwanted region, I want to bring this one on the XOY plane. The XOY plane, where we have an x-axis, the origin was 0, then y here. Okay? So where do we have x is equals to 2? So let's take it that this one is our 2 here. Okay? Let's take it that this one is our 2 here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a straight line coming here. Okay? As you can see, the line that I have drawn is dotted or broken. Why? Just the same thing that we did on the number line where the circle was not shaded. This demonstrates that the coordinates that are on this line do not satisfy the condition or the inequality, including 2 itself. So we are not supposed to have the coordinates that are here. That is why the line is broken. Now we are shading the unwanted region or the region that is false. So this line is an equation which is x is equals to 2. Okay? Then which region now here? We are looking at the region that is less than 2. Here we have got the coordinates that are this side, they are less than 2. So we want to shade the unwanted region. So meaning the region that we do not want here, the region that we do not want, it's this region here that is greater. This region here, this is the region that is unwanted. We are shading the unwanted region. This true region must remain. And the true region is where x is less than 2. X is less than 2 here. So that is what we are supposed to have. And that is the first one. So we go to the second one. Quickly, we are solving. So we have to solve this one. We are solving this one now. How do we solve? We put the like terms together. 2x, this one comes the other side as a minus, the additive inverse. Then we have greater or equal to what? 2. Then the additive inverse of minus is plus 4. We have x here when you subtract 6. Okay, that is what we are getting. So here, what are we having? X is greater than or equal to 6. X is greater than or equal to 6. X is greater than or equal to 6. X is greater than, so we are coming again back to our number line. This is our y and this is our x. And let's say our 6 is here. So we are supposed to draw a straight line here. Have you seen my line? It is solid. Y greater or equal to. 6 is part of the solutions. 6 is included. Now what are we looking at here? The part that is greater, that is the wanted region. So the unwanted region is that one which is less than 6. The part that is less than 6, it's unwanted region. So in this case, this equation here is x is equals to 6. The unwanted region here is which one? We don't want the unwanted region. The unwanted region is this region that is less. So this is the region that should be shaded here. This is the unwanted region. This region, that is where we have x. This is the region that we want. All the coordinates here, 7 is greater, 8 going that side. So we don't shade that part, okay? That is what we are supposed to know. That's what we are supposed to know. So we move on. We move on, we move on, we move on. So we come to, what do we have? This one, y is less than or equal to negative 3. Y is less than or equal to negative 3. This is our x, okay? This is our x here. Y, my x, then my y, my origin. So y is less than or equal to negative 3. So I'll go to negative 3 on the y-axis. I'll go to negative 3, put negative 3 here on the y-axis. Okay? So here, we need, because of this, less or equal to, we need to draw a solid line again. This one. And this line, in terms of an equation, it's called y is equal to negative 3. This line. Then what do we want? We want the part that is less, isn't it? We want the part that is less here. Okay? The part that we want here is the one that is less. Are you getting me? We want the part that is less. So that is the part that we are not going to shade. We are not going to shade the part that is less. Now, for negatives, I'm sure you know that as we go up here, including negative 2, it's greater than what? So the region that we want is this one that is down. This is where we have coordinates that are less than negative 3, going down. For instance, negative 4 is less than negative 3. Okay? So the region that we want is this one that is down. So meaning the shading must be upward. We shade the unwanted region. We are shading the unwanted region. This one is what we are shading. The upper part. Alright? I hope you are following there. So let's do the last one. Let's do the last one. So we are also solving this one quickly. We put the like terms together. What are we going to have? We have 5. This is y. We have 5 minus 10 on this side. Minus 4 plus 3y, isn't it? That is what we have. So we have let's remain with the y this side so that it's easy like that. Okay, so we're going to have minus 3y here, then plus 4y, okay? Then we have, what do we have here? 10 minus 5. Okay? Yes. So we have minus 3y. Then the additive inverse of this one is plus, is equals to, so here we're going to have y greater than or equal to 5. Alright? Y is greater than or equal to 5. Again, we draw our what? X or Y plane or Cartesian plane. Then we say this is where we are having our 5, positive 5 here. So what are we supposed to do? Because this is greater or what, we draw a solid line. And this line in terms of an equation is y is equals to 5. Then what we want, the greater part. The greater is the upper part. So the unwanted region is this region that is below. This is the region that we must shade. I hope you don't have issues on how to determine which part is greater. For instance, here you know that from 5 you have 6. When you put 6 here, 6 is greater than. So it even, if you try any coordinate that is below, it will be false. So we want the region that is, we are shading. What are we shading? The unwanted region. The unwanted region. So I hope you are getting the concept here. So let me give you other examples that are slightly different, where we already have shaded a region like this one, and the equation is drawn. Then you have to write the inequality. So let me give you those examples. Okay. Okay, so these are the examples, which is like the opposite of what we were talking about. We are saying, we're actually doing the opposite. Describe the unshaded region. We describe the unshaded region. We are doing the opposite. Okay? So let's start with the first one. What is the unshaded region? Here, of course, we are using, we have y and 3. What is it that we are supposed to put here? This, is it the less part? Is it the greater part? Of course, now when you look at the line that we have here, this is a solid line. And the region that is not shaded, it is less than 3. So we are going to say less or equal to 3. This, less or equal to 3, the opposite of what we were doing. Okay? The opposite of what we were doing. So this is how we have to describe, we are actually writing the inequalities or the inequation that represent the unshaded region. So this is what we are supposed to do for the first one. Y is less or equal. This part, it's less going down here. This is 3, 2. We are reducing going downwards. Okay? That's that for the first one. And the second one, I'll start with this. The equation is x is equals to 7. X is equals to 7. So we are saying x and 7. The line is broken. It's dotted. So meaning, again here, what region do we want? We want the less part. So it will just be x is less than 7. X is less than 7 because the line is dotted. Less than 7 meaning from 7, we are looking at 6, 5 coming this side. So this is one of them. Then when we come to this one, we have y and x. What is this? You know, this is where you have, if it's 1, 1, 2, 2, the coordinate for x is the same as the coordinate for y. Where you have those coordinates, the same coordinate, 3, 3, 4, 4, 10, just like that. But then we are looking at the region that we want here. When you have a line like this one here, the region, the upper region is greater than the lower region. So the region that we want here is below. So it is less. So it is less. So we're going to have y is less than x. So these are the inequalities that we are supposed to write. These are the inequalities that we need for this one. Okay? These are the inequalities that we need for this one. Then I'll come to the last one. We come to the last one. Please, I hope you are paying attention. Okay? We are given equations. So all what we are trying to do is to interpret or to rewrite these things using the inequality symbols. So we are taking into consideration the unshaded region. So when we come to this one, the first one is x. This line here, x is equals to what? X against 0. We are looking at from this point, we're going this side. So this region is greater or equal to, because the line is solid. So this is this one here. Are we together? Okay. Then I'm going to take this, which is y x minus 2. What am I supposed to write? For this line, these lines here, this region is greater than this one. The region that is on top is greater than the region that is below. So, because the line is dotted, the line is solid or continuous, it will be this one. Y is greater or equal to. Okay? Then the last one, we have x plus y, then 7. What symbol are we putting here? This is below. When you have this, the below line, this is less than this one. Okay? So the region that we have here, it is less. It is less. So we have less just. We can't put equal because the line is dotted. Alright? We can't put that because the line is dotted. So I hope you have gotten the concept, and basically I'm laying down the foundation of what is required of us to get to have the subsequent aspects simpler. So that is what I'm trying to develop here. I hope you have gotten the concept. And on this platform, we teach like a classroom setup. So at the end of each lesson, we do give an exercise because there are people that are following these works and they keep giving us feedbacks. So please make sure that you join the movement. All right, so let me give the exercise. Okay. So the first question here talks about what I was talking about. The first part. Okay. I hope these questions are clear. I'm giving you as many as you can. You can do a few just. Then here, describing the question is there, the last part that we talked about. Okay. We there? Do you have any of these books? Okay, I've used them to compile the notes for the lesson. Okay, thank you very much for watching.